Your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, good evening to you on what is another very cloudy and foggy evening. Take a look. This is our camera network. You can see from Champaign to Mattoon, Charleston looking okay, but look at Springfield and Decatur. Let's take a look at that Decatur camera a little bit closer, and you can see that, well, those buildings are a little tough to see as that fog is really begin to ramp up once again. As a matter of fact, visibilities are down to 0 in Decatur and Taylorville right now. A little bit better as you get kind of east of I-57, but that fog's going to continue to roll in. We've got temperatures near freezing. That leads to freezing fog, which could cause a few slick spots. Again, not too bad here in Champaign, but it is very foggy out to the west. We'll have more about that and let you know if any more wintry weather is in our forecast when we come back. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
We told you about a firefighter and his wife who were killed in a crash, how the community is saying a final farewell. Plus, 2020 was a challenging year for businesses, how some were able to stay afloat during this crisis.
And also tonight, control of the Senate will be determined by Georgia's runoff election tomorrow. Which candidate has ties to Central Illinois?
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 5.
He could always, always could lighten the mood with a joke or a joke or a story he had.
Those jokes and stories will be something Woodlands Fire Department will carry for a long time. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. Today, a funeral was held for Champaign firefighter and Woodland Fire Chief Dominic Smith and his wife, Kimberly. The two were killed in a car accident on Christmas night. WCIA 3's Jared Farmer is with us. Jared, so Smith was a chief in Iroquois County and would drive down to work in Champaign.
Yes, that's correct, Jennifer. And one of the things that anyone who was at the funeral and knew Dom during his lifetime told me is that Dom was a man who had serious dedication to his craft. Smith would make the 1-hour commute from Woodland to Champaign for each shift on top of being Woodland's fire chief. Now, I spoke with the assistant chief in Woodland, A.J. Kingdon. He told me that everything about firefighting is about tradition. Now, the most important tradition for them in Woodland is to serve with the same tenacity that Dom brought to the table every single shift.
Dominic always made it real clear, that if we weren't here to answer the call, there was no one else. So, we're always going to do our best to be here for the community and, keep moving on.
Firefighters across Central Illinois came to support Smith's family. They rang a bell 3 times to honor his passage into the next life. Kingdon says Dom was an engaged chief that taught the department everything that he knew. And now Kingdon says it's up to Woodlands Fire Department to continue to carry on Dominic's incredible legacy. Live in Champaign, I'm Jared Farmer, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Such a loss, Jared. Thank you so much. Clinton firefighters say they responded to 20 calls yesterday, including several for downed power lines. One damaged line led to a smoke or burning smell in 4 homes near Washington and Elm. Crews also responded to Warner Hospital, where a fire broke out in a mechanical room. They kept it from spreading and ventilated the smoke. Next, they were called to help fight a chimney fire near Wapella, but were sent back shortly after getting there.
It's been a tough year for businesses, no question. That's been across the board. Now, despite the pandemic and economic crisis, some have managed to stay afloat, of course. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting joins us now. Courtney, you spoke to people at some of these businesses. What are they telling you tonight?
Well, Paul, they're all finding different ways to get by, and we know this has been especially hard on restaurants. For some, though, they're able to just rely more on delivery and pickup orders. Monocle's in Arcola, for example, their indoor dining brought in about 30 to 40% of their profits. Of course, they don't have that option right now, but they say customers have actually helped them make up for those losses.
Honestly, our customers and my employees are what keep us going right now. The ability of my employees to just switch gears when we say this is a change that's made, and the customers, they just keep coming. They keep supporting us.
That Monocle's location has also kept all of its employees, but since they don't need servers, they've had to rearrange things. For example, their servers shifted to roles like answering phones and taking down orders instead. Monocle's has had to deal with some added expenses, though. For example, they have to buy more single-use utensils and other items instead of being able to wash them between customers, which they would, of course, do if they were serving inside. Live in the newsroom, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Pretty remarkable they've been able to keep everybody on staff there.
Really shows tenacity, I think.
Absolutely. All right, Courtney, thanks. Well, the Chamber of Commerce in Champaign County tracked 35 closures because of the pandemic. 2 have new owners and will reopen. There are at least 3 restaurants that are closed temporarily during the cold weather. Those are in addition to the 35. And here's a look at the latest COVID numbers statewide. The state's reporting more than 5,000 new cases, and that brings the total number of infections up to 900, nearly 985,000. Now, the state's positivity rate has been slowly rising up to 9.8% now. 3,900 people are in the hospital now. In Region 3, 75% of ICU beds are being used. Over in Region 6, that number is at 69%. 79 more people have died in the last 24 hours in the state. That includes 4 people from Central Illinois. The state has lost more than 16,800 people to COVID-19.
A housing complex is now using its facility as a quarantine center. Decatur Transitional Housing is taking in people who may have been exposed to COVID-19 waiting for test results or have mild symptoms. They open today and have 5 different wings they can put people in. They're working with the Macon County Health Department. Officials say they saw a need in the community and are trying to relieve some of the stress put on hospitals. Free COVID-19 testing is coming to Clinton this weekend. The state is holding a community drive-through and walk-up testing site at the DeWitt Piatt Bi-County Health Department. It's going to be open from 8 to 4 on Saturday. Anyone can get tested, symptoms or not. You'll get your results in 4 to 7 days.
State Senator Andy Manar says he's resigning from the legislature and joining Governor Pritzker's administration later this month. The Democrat from Bunker Hill served as senator for 8 years. Pritzker says Manar will be a senior advisor on issues including downstate economic revitalization, appropriations, and COVID-19 recovery efforts. Democratic Party chairs in Christian, Macon, Montgomery, and Sangamon counties will name Manar's replacement. Congressional Republicans are split over plans by dozens of GOP lawmakers to object to Wednesday's counting of electoral votes. About 100 House Republicans and a dozen Republican senators believe election fraud took place in key battleground states, despite recounts in court cases proving the opposite. The objections are expected to temporarily delay but not overturn certification of Joe Biden's win.
The high-stakes runoff election in Georgia tomorrow will determine the balance of power in the U.S. Senate. And one of the candidates running has ties to Central Illinois. Our Capitol Bureau Chief, Mark Maxwell, is live from Springfield now. And Mark, Republican Senator Kelly Loeffler grew up on a small family farm in Illinois.
Jennifer, today she's the richest senator in the United States, but 30 years ago she was hitting the books on campus at the University of Illinois, and just a few years prior, growing up on a small-town family farm in Stanford and McLean County. We went there today to visit her hometown to see those humble upbringings, to see where she came from. Georgia's Republican governor appointing her to the Senate last year, but now her runoff election tomorrow night could decide which party controls the Senate in the new incoming Congress. When she first took office, she and her husband headed up the company that runs the New York Stock Exchange. She also owns a stake in the Atlanta Dream, a WNBA team. But her first taste of business happened here in Central Illinois on her family farm, where the Loeffler family still grows crops today.
Everybody in the area is really rooting for her, and I mean, you go into all the small shops and stuff, and everybody's talking about it, so it's pretty exciting.
As a educator, I've told students for 30+ years that they can become and do whatever they want to become if they just believe in themselves, and certainly Kelly's shown that.
That's Ed Jadlowski, the principal at Olympia High School. He went to high school with her in the late 80s, where she was on the marching band, on the basketball team, and now she's right there in the hallway in the school's Hall of Fame. We're told that her parents, we couldn't reach them today. We're told they may very well be in Georgia with the Loeffler campaign, awaiting the results of tomorrow night's election. Her brother was still working on the farm, but busy with that big sprawling business, left there and unavailable today. But we will have much more on her and her hometown roots, what McLean County is saying about her, and what's at stake in those big runoff elections tomorrow night. That's coming up tonight at 10. Jennifer?
We're going to be watching. All right, Mark, thank you.
One birthday celebration for Abraham Lincoln will look different this year. How County Museum is giving kids a way to get involved virtually.
Plus this.
COVID cases continue to break records in the U.S. and push hospitals to the breaking point. I'm Chris Martinez with what some hospitals are having to do to make room for the surge of patients.